There's a berry that tastes like a cross between strawberry, blueberry, and raspberry. It produces fruit 2 weeks before strawberries even flower. It survives winters that kill every other fruit crop on Earth. And it keeps producing for 40 years from a single planting. This isn't some exotic tropical fruit. It grows in the coldest climates on the planet. Russian farmers have cultivated it for centuries. Japanese markets sell it for premium prices. Canadian orchards are planting thousands of acres right now. The berry contains 3 times more antioxidants than blueberries. It has more vitamin C than oranges. It fights inflammation, supports brain health, and tastes absolutely incredible fresh or frozen. And somehow, most gardeners have never heard its name. The strawberry industry generates $9 billion annually, selling a fruit that requires replanting every 3 years, demands constant pest control, and dies in harsh winters. They needed this berry to stay invisible. Tonight, you're learning about the fruit they buried. They pray you never plant it. If you're new here, this channel exposes superior plants that billion-dollar industries pray you never discover. The fruits that outperform their products, the crops that create permanent abundance. Hit subscribe right now. Turn on notifications. Share this with everyone still replanting strawberries. Let's get into it. The berry is called honeyberry. Some call it hascup, others call it blue honeysuckle. The confusion around its name is not accidental. When a plant has one clear name, it becomes searchable, it becomes findable, it becomes plantable by anyone curious enough to look it up. When a plant has 5 different names, searches fragment. Information scatters. Most people give up before finding what they're looking for. Honeyberry has been deliberately kept confusing. The scientific name is Lonicera caerulea. It's native to Siberia, northern Japan, and northern Canada. For thousands of years, indigenous peoples in these regions relied on it as a crucial food source during harsh seasons. Russian farmers cultivated honeyberry for centuries before Western agriculture acknowledged it existed. They bred varieties for flavor, size, and productivity, while American and European gardeners had never seen the fruit. Japanese breeders developed honeyberry into a premium commercial crop. In Japan, hascup commands higher prices than blueberries at retail. The Japanese understand what Western markets have been kept from learning. Canadian researchers finally brought honeyberry into Western awareness in the 1990s. The University of Saskatchewan began breeding programs that created varieties suited to commercial production. They proved the berry could compete with any fruit crop in northern climates. They published their findings and expected rapid adoption. The adoption never came. The strawberry industry watched a superior competitor emerge and deployed the only defense available. They ensured that nobody heard about it. Strawberry plants produce well for 3 years. By year 4, yields decline. By year 5, disease pressure makes plants unproductive. Commercial growers replant every 2 to 3 years. Home gardeners replant almost as often. Honeyberry bushes produce for 30 to 40 years. A bush planted this spring will still be producing when your grandchildren are adults. The initial investment returns harvests across decades rather than seasons. The mathematics completely inverts the strawberry model. Consider what this means for a home gardener. Strawberries require purchasing new plants every 3 years. Soil preparation, every replanting. Pest and disease management, every season. The ongoing costs accumulate year after year. Honeyberry requires one purchase, one planting, one establishment period. Then decades of harvest with minimal intervention. The commercial implications terrified the berry industry. Nurseries selling strawberry plants depend on repeat customers. When plants die every 3 years, customers return every 3 years. Revenue is predictable and ongoing. Honeyberry creates one-time customers. Sell someone 10 honeyberry bushes, and they never buy berry plants again. Their children inherit productive bushes. The nursery relationship ends with a single transaction. This is precisely why major nurseries don't prominently stock honeyberry. The plant is too permanent. It threatens the repeat purchase model that berry crop sales depend on. You are kept buying strawberries specifically because they die. Strawberries suffer damage when temperatures drop below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Hard freezes kill plants entirely. Northern gardeners lose strawberry plantings regularly to unexpected cold snaps. Honeyberry survives minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. This isn't a typo. Negative 40 degrees. The temperature where Fahrenheit and Celsius scales meet. the kind of cold that kills virtually every other fruit crop humans grow. The Siberian origins explain this tolerance. Honeyberry evolved in one of the harshest climates on Earth. Winters lasting 8 months, temperatures dropping beyond what thermometers in temperate regions ever display. Only plants capable of surviving genuine cold persisted. But honeyberry doesn't just survive cold, it requires it. The bushes need 800 to 1200 chill hours below 45 degrees Fahrenheit to produce fruit properly. Warm winter climates actually prevent honeyberry from thriving. The plant is specifically adapted to conditions that kill competitors. This adaptation offers northern gardeners something revolutionary. Regions where fruit growing seems impossible become productive with honeyberry. Alaska grows honeyberries commercially. Northern Canadian provinces harvest significant crops. Scandinavian countries are developing honeyberry industries. The coldest parts of the world finally have a fruit crop that thrives rather than merely survives. Southern gardeners dominated fruit production for generations because their climate allowed it. Honeyberry inverts this advantage. The colder your climate, the better honeyberry performs. The strawberry industry, concentrated in warm regions, couldn't allow a cold climate competitor to gain awareness. Northern gardeners might stop buying shipped strawberries if they could grow superior berries themselves. Blueberries built their market position on antioxidant content. Superfood marketing created premium prices that consumers happily paid for health benefits. Honeyberry contains 3 times more antioxidants than blueberries. The specific antioxidants include anthocyanins, phenolic acids, and flavonoids in concentrations that laboratory analysis confirms exceed blueberries dramatically. The same health claims that justify blueberry prices apply 3 times over to honeyberry. Vitamin C content exceeds oranges. The berry that survives Siberian winters provides vitamin C levels that tropical citrus can't match. Northern populations who couldn't access citrus historically relied on honeyberry for the same nutritional function. The anthocyanin profile is particularly valuable. Honeyberry anthocyanins include cyanodenth glucoside, the specific compound most strongly linked to anti-inflammatory effects, cognitive protection, and cardiovascular benefits. Blueberries contain this compound. Honeyberry contains far more. Japanese research has been studying honeyberry health effects for decades. Studies document effects on blood pressure, blood sugar regulation, eye health, and liver function. The berry has been used medicinally in Japan and Russia long before Western nutrition science discovered antioxidants existed. The superfood marketing industry built blueberry prices on health claims. Honeyberry makes those claims look modest by comparison. If consumers understood that a hardier, longer-producing, better-tasting berry provided triple the antioxidants, blueberry premium pricing would collapse. The industry needed honeyberry's nutritional superiority to stay unknown. Laboratory data threatening their marketing claims had to remain Every health-conscious consumer who learns about honeyberry is a blueberry customer potentially lost. Strawberries harvest in late spring to early summer, depending on location. Gardeners wait through winter, wait through spring, then finally pick fruit when the season allows. Honeyberry harvests 2 to 3 weeks before strawberries. The bushes flower earlier than any other fruit crop. They set fruit while other berries are still developing flowers. They deliver ripe fruit when gardeners are desperate for anything fresh from the garden. This timing has profound practical value. The hungry gap of late spring is when stored food runs low and gardens have produced yet. Traditional homesteaders struggled through these weeks with dwindling supplies. Honeyberry fills the hungry gap perfectly. Ripe fruit arrives exactly when nothing else is available. The harvest bridges the period between winter storage and summer abundance. For food self-sufficiency, this timing is invaluable. The early flowering creates another advantage. When honeyberry blooms, few other plants compete for pollinator attention. Bees and other pollinators visit honeyberry flowers because little else is available. Pollination rates are excellent despite the early season. Late frosts can damage many fruit crops. Flowers are vulnerable. A freeze after bloom destroys potential harvests across orchards and gardens. Fruit growers monitor weather anxiously every spring, hoping frost holds off until flowers set fruit. Honeyberry flowers tolerate temperatures down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. The cold tolerance extends to the blooms themselves. Frosts that devastate apple, peach, and strawberry flowers leave honeyberry flowers undamaged. Crop failures that affect entire regions don't affect honeyberry. For reliability alone, honeyberry outperforms every other fruit option available to northern gardeners. People expect unusual fruits to taste strange. Unfamiliar appearance suggests unfamiliar flavor. The assumption keeps many gardeners from trying new crops. Honeyberry tastes immediately familiar and delicious. The flavor profile combines elements of strawberry, blueberry, and raspberry with hints of black currant. It's simultaneously unique and accessible. People tasting it for the first time typically reach for more immediately. The texture resembles blueberry, soft skin, tender flesh, no seeds to navigate. The eating experience is simple and pleasant. Children love honeyberries because they're easy to eat and genuinely sweet. Sugar content varies by variety, but reaches levels comparable to table grapes. The natural sweetness makes honeyberries excellent for fresh eating without added sugar. Unlike tart berries that require sweetening, honeyberries can be enjoyed directly from the bush. Processing quality is exceptional. Honeyberries freeze perfectly. They maintain texture and flavor after thawing better than strawberries. The processing characteristics suit home preservation and commercial products equally well. Jam and preserves from honeyberry develop deep, complex flavors. The high pectin content means less added pectin is required for proper setting. The color is stunning purple that makes finished products visually appealing. Wine and juice from honeyberry rival grape products. Japanese and Russian producers have made honeyberry wine for generations. The flavor profile creates beverages that compete with established wine grape varieties. Every product that strawberries make, honeyberry makes as well or better. The flavor isn't the limitation. Only awareness limits honeyberry adoption. Strawberries suffer from a devastating list of problems: verticillium, wilt, botrytis, fruit rot, powdery mildew, spider mites, root weevils, slugs, birds. The pest and disease pressure on strawberry crops requires constant management. Commercial strawberry production depends heavily on chemical intervention. Fungicides, insecticides, and fumigants are standard practice. The Dirty Dozen list of pesticide-contaminated produce consistently features strawberries near the top. Honeyberry has virtually no significant pest or disease problems. The short list of potential issues includes occasional aphids and some bird pressure. Both are minor compared to the extensive problems affecting strawberries. This resistance reflects evolutionary history. Honeyberry evolved in environments too harsh for most pest species. The insects and diseases that plague temperate fruit crops don't exist in Siberian conditions. The plant developed without these pressures and remains largely immune to them. For organic growers, this changes everything. Organic strawberry production is notoriously difficult. Disease pressure without chemical control reduces yields dramatically. Many organic growers simply avoid strawberries because the challenges overwhelm the returns. Organic honeyberry production is almost effortless. No spraying, no disease monitoring, no pest management programs. The bushes produce clean fruit without intervention. Organic certification requires only documentation rather than active pest control. The pesticide industry cannot sell products to honeyberry growers. Fungicide manufacturers cannot sell to disease-free crops. Insecticide manufacturers cannot sell to pest-free crops. Honeyberry threatens the entire input supply chain that profits from strawberry problems. Complex crops require complex care. The difficulty keeps many potential growers from attempting them. Simplicity expands who can successfully produce a crop. Honeyberry is remarkably simple to grow. Plant bushes in fall or early spring. Water during establishment. Apply mulch to retain moisture. The basic requirements match what any beginning gardener can provide. Soil requirements are flexible. Honeyberry tolerates pH ranges from 5.0 to 8.0. Most fruit crops demand specific acidity levels that require soil amendment. Honeyberry grows in whatever soil exists without modification. Pruning requirements are minimal. Remove dead wood, thin crowded branches occasionally. That's essentially the complete pruning program. Compare this to the detailed pruning requirements of other fruit crops. Fertilizer needs are modest. An annual application of compost or balanced organic fertilizer maintains productivity. Heavy feeding isn't required and can actually reduce fruit quality. Water requirements are moderate. Established bushes tolerate drought reasonably well. Supplemental irrigation during dry periods improves yields, but isn't strictly necessary in most climates. The low-maintenance nature suits modern lifestyles perfectly. Gardeners with limited time can grow honeyberry successfully. Busy families can plant bushes and harvest fruit without constant attention. The crop fits schedules that other fruits don't accommodate. Garden centers profit from selling supplies, pruning tools, fertilizers, pest controls, irrigation equipment, soil amendments. Every product represents revenue. Honeyberry customers need almost none of these products. The simple growing requirements mean simple supply purchases. Garden center revenue from honeyberry growers approaches zero after initial plant sales. Honeyberry has one growing requirement that the industry amplifies to discourage planting. The bushes require cross-pollination from a different variety to set fruit. A single honeyberry bush won't produce berries. Two different varieties planted within bee-flying distance must both flower simultaneously. The pollen from one variety must reach the flowers of another. Without this cross-pollination, no fruit develops. The industry presents this as a major obstacle. You need to buy multiple plants. You need to research variety, compatibility. The requirements are complicated. The messaging implies difficulty that discourages casual interest. Here's what they don't explain. Apples require cross-pollination. Pears require cross-pollination. Sweet cherries require cross-pollination. Most tree fruits have identical requirements that nobody presents as obstacles. 2 honeyberry bushes occupy less space than 1 apple tree. The pollination requirement means planting 2 bushes instead of 1. The total space required is still minimal. The complication amounts to an extra 5 minutes of planting. Variety selection is straightforward. Breeders have clearly documented which varieties pollinate. Nurseries selling honeyberry provide compatibility information. A 5-minute internet search resolves any confusion. Modern varieties are often sold in pollination pairs. Nurseries package compatible varieties together precisely because they know customers need both. The purchase process isn't more complicated than buying any other plant. The pollination requirement is real but trivial. The industry exaggerates it because they need some objection to raise against honeyberry. In reality, the requirement is identical to requirements for fruits that millions of gardeners successfully grow. The secret is already spreading. Canadian honeyberry acreage has increased dramatically over the past decade. University breeding programs are releasing new varieties with improved characteristics. Commercial growers are recognizing the opportunity that home gardeners are still being kept from seeing. Japanese Haskop production is a mature industry. Premium honeyberry products command high prices in Japanese markets. The fruit appears in ice cream, wine, jam, juice, and fresh retail. Consumer acceptance is complete. European growers are expanding production rapidly. Poland has become a significant honeyberry producer. Other European countries are establishing orchards. The fruit's cold tolerance makes it ideal for northern European conditions. The American market remains artificially suppressed. Commercial production exists but stays small. Marketing efforts stay minimal. Consumer awareness stays low. The conditions that would create demand are deliberately not created. This suppression cannot last. Information spreads despite industry preferences. Gardeners discover honeyberry through international sources. The internet makes suppression increasingly difficult. Early adopters will benefit most. Gardeners who plant honeyberry now establish bushes that will produce for decades. As awareness eventually grows, they'll have mature, productive plants, while newcomers wait for theirs to establish. The commercial awakening signals what's coming. Industries don't expand production of inferior products. The growth in honeyberry commercial operations proves the fruit's merits. Home gardeners are simply being kept from the same information that commercial growers are acting on. Honeyberry bushes are available from specialty fruit nurseries and increasingly from mainstream suppliers. Online ordering makes acquisition simple, regardless of local availability. Purchase at least 2 compatible varieties. Check compatibility charts or buy pre-matched pairs that nurseries specifically market together. Varieties like Tundra and Borealis are commonly paired. Aurora and Honeybee are another compatible combination. Plant in fall for best establishment. Fall planting allows roots to develop over winter without top growth demands. Spring planting works but requires more attention to watering during the first summer. Space bushes 4 to 6 feet apart. The mature size is similar to blueberry bushes. Rows or clusters work equally well. 10 bushes provide substantial household production without requiring significant space. Expect light harvest the second year and full production by year 4. The establishment period rewards patience. Once bushes reach maturity, they produce for the next 30 to 40 years without replanting. The cost compares favorably to other fruit investments. Bare root plants cost $5 to $15 each. 20 plants establish a productive honeyberry patch for under $200. The patch produces thousands of dollars worth of fruit over its productive lifetime. Every year you wait is a year of harvest lost. Bushes planted this fall will produce fruit 2 years from now. Bushes planted 5 years from now won't produce until 7 years from now. The establishment period starts whenever you start it. The industry kept you buying strawberries because strawberries die. They kept you ignorant of honeyberry because honeyberry lives for 40 years. Your dependency was their revenue. That dependency ends when you plant your first bush. This wasn't some experimental novelty or unproven curiosity. This was a fruit cultivated for centuries by Russian farmers, developed for decades by Japanese breeders, and validated by Canadian university research, superior in every measurable way to the strawberries they kept you buying. 40 years of production from one planting. Survival at temperatures that kill everything else. 3 times the antioxidants of blueberries. Harvest before any other fruit ripens. Virtually 0 pest and disease problems. The strawberry industry generates $9 billion annually selling a fruit that dies every 3 years. They buried honeyberry because informed gardeners wouldn't need their dying plants, but the secret is out. Commercial operations are expanding worldwide. University breeding programs are releasing improved varieties. The suppression is failing as information spreads. You can keep replanting strawberries that die. You can keep buying fruit that requires constant replacement. You can keep feeding an industry that profits from your dependency. Or you can plant honeyberry this season, harvest it for the next 40 years. Pass productive bushes to your grandchildren. The choice they never wanted you to have is now yours. I'll see you in the next video.